Okay.
I'm on a de facto gold standard now.
Okay.
One of the things I do as a sort of a thought exercise is calculate my income statement and my balance sheet in gram terms, which is to say, rather than keeping my books only in a floating abstraction called the US dollar, I've also taken to calculating my finances in grams of gold, which is interesting. I think the willingness of the political class to go on some sort of de facto gold standard is nil. The currency, what people in politics exist for, is power, naked power. And a gold standard would restrict their ability to counterfeit. It would restrict their ability to spend without borrowing against collateral. And the probability that anybody would wreck their life as much as a politician has to wreck his or her life for any purpose other than obtaining power over other people, seeing their own agenda advanced, is nil. And the consequence of that is that the idea that any of them would subject themselves to the restraint that would be applied by a gold standard is nil. Now, you'll see false gold standards. You will see countries that will likely base their currency on precious metals, tie them to precious metals over time. But tying it and backing it is a very different thing. Having your specie, having your currency redeemable for precious metals is something that I don't see any politician subjecting himself or herself to. And people say, unless they had a viable option, the only way that a politician would subject himself or herself or their country to a gold standard would be if they had no other alternative, which is to say they're broke. And if they're broke, how do they get the gold to back the currency? You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, true.
So I see a lot of talk about this, and I see a lot of commentators that said, if you took the stock of currency in the United States and you converted it to gold, then gold would be $22,000 an ounce. Well, that's an arithmetic exercise.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Biden or Trump or Kamala Harris or pick your favorite thug constraining their ability to do quantitative easing and deficit financing by tying themselves to gold? I don't.
So you differ then with your friend Jim Rickards. You don't see eye to eye on his view of how gold will play a role in the future monetary system?
I don't. Not at the official level. I see myself, I mean, as you guys know, I'm starting a bank, or I'm backing Frank Trotter and the old Everbank guys at starting a bank. And we are going, among other things, to have gold-denominated certificates of deposit, and we're going to lend against gold. In that sense, I'm adopting a gold standard, my own gold standard. If somebody owns $1 million worth of gold and they want to
utilizing fractional banking also, Rick, at the same time?
Yeah, absolutely. Assuming that, somebody owns $1 million worth of gold as an example, and they want to buy a summer cottage, we'll loan them $500,000 against their gold. In effect, a private gold standard.